Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and today our guest is Sanjay. So, how are you doing, Sanjay, today?
Hey, I'm doing great, Qasim. Thank you for having me.
That's good. So, Sanjay, will you let us know about your business, what you're doing, and why you're doing?
That's a great question. So I'll start with what I'm doing, and then I'll go, to why I really started doing this. Okay.
Sure.
So Qasim, I'm a technologist, and at the moment I'm CEO of Vervotect, which is a SaaS-based hotel mapping, room mapping, and content standardization company. We started this around 5 years back. Okay. The reason for doing this, I had been working in travel, for more than a decade, Kasim. And what we have realized is, the simple things which we as consumers see on a website while booking flight, hotel, cruise, or something, there is a lot of complexity behind the scene. And when I look at this space, one thing I have realized is there are a lot of tech companies out there, but everyone is trying to solve too many problems. And there are very few people who are actually doing a very niche, who are actually solving one specific problem at a great level.
Yeah.
And that's when we decided actually to start Vervotech with my co-founders, and we are very clear that we will only address hotel content standardization as a problem. Okay, so we started with that. There were a lot of opportunities to do a lot more things. Most important thing was make sure we are not distracted by the more opportunities. So we stay focused. Today, we are very well popular. More than 1,000 websites globally are using our services.
Great.
We are based in Pune. Earlier this year, Kasim, we got acquired by Constellation Software through Juniper Group. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, Constellation Software, Kasim, is the eighth largest software company in the world. And Juniper Group is a portfolio mainly focusing on travel tech within Constellation, which is one of the very fast growing portfolio as well.
Mhm.
So, I think whatever we have achieved in last 5 years is really build a great product, being a market leader in certain markets. And with this acquisition, I think now we are moving towards really being the globally leader in each and every market. But yeah, I think this is what I'm doing, and the reason I said is instead of doing and trying everything like everyone else was doing back then, our goal is solve one problem, but really be the best in that, and that's how we actually landed in this.
That's cool. That's cool. So, how did you come to recognize the gap in the market you could fill with this new idea or the business?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when actually we were working, we have identified actually a couple of problems, not only one. This was not the only problem we identified. We have
Yeah.
identified some of the problems which are used by everyone. Okay,
Hmm.
and 5 years back, when the flight technology was really, I would say, developed. Of course, NDC has taken a different shape, but with the GDS being so strong in flights, flight technology was a solved problem up to some extent. But
Hmm.
where hotels was very fragmented technology. And what we realized is for anyone to develop a good hotel technology, this global hotel content first has to be standardized so that everyone can really work on it. Of course, there were some players who were doing this, but not a lot of them. If you ask, there are more than 300,000 travel agencies selling hotels global online. And probably if you ask anyone, probably one or two names are known to everyone. There were not enough players to really drive the innovation, compete, drive the right pricing, drive the right solutioning. So we saw that as an opportunity because this is a never lasting problem. And at the same time, there were not enough players who are really targeting this. So that's how we kind of,
Ah,
made mind to go behind this.
completely makes sense. So now you have segregated the audience. Like you know what is the target you're going to market. So in after all these things, how do you measure the success for your business?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Okay, so when we started in all this, the first, and we always had this very clear. I think success is not a destination, in my opinion, Kasim. Success is a milestone.
Yeah,
That definition keep changing. Okay, so
exactly.
when we started the product, our very first milestone is at least get the six paying customers. The moment
Hmm.
we got the six paying customer, our milestone was make sure we get a first $1 million in the SaaS revenue. Okay,
Hmm.
when we did that, then actually have a strategy to really become the largest player. And acquisition was really a strategic acquisition. It was not an exit as such. It was actually a strategic acquisition so that we can take things ahead. So today's goal is we what we have done in last 5 years, Kasim. I think the industry at a large knows about Vervotech. They know what we do. A lot of them are using us. So we came across to everyone as an option in the last 2 years, and people can always evaluate us. I think we want to change this and become the most preferred option for everyone. Okay, and if I have to give an example, if someone is trying to buy the phone today, they do have an options like they can go for Samsung, or they can go for MI, or they can go for OnePlus. But everyone back of the mind knows the most preferred option is iPhone. That's the most popular. There's no competition in terms of experience and so on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think our goal is we want to be iPhone. I would not say that we want to work with everyone because it's practically impossible. Such a big problem. There would always be competitors. We'll keep learning from each other. We'll keep competing. But our goal is in next 5 years, and this is not a small thing. I won't say that we'll do that in 6 months. There is a long journey. There's a long innovation, a lot of work required in product. But in next 5 years, we want very clearly be an iPhone of the mapping industry, where people knows if you need the best, this is what it is. They may not use or choose us for different reasons. That is absolutely fine. But there is no doubt about who is best, or there's nothing like in comparison the way today's iPhone situation is. So that's our goal, Kasim. That's how I look at is our next milestone, or this is where I would say we are successful when we achieve that. Of course, that's again the milestone. By the time we achieve that, we will have a different milestone too. But at this point of time, this is the goal we are going behind.
It looks like this is a long-term goal, but like, what is your short-term goal like for next maybe 6 months?
Yeah. So, Kasim, today we are very strong in North America as a market. We're very strong in India as a market. We're very strong in Middle East as a market. But we are not that strong from a market share standpoint in Europe and South America. So clearly, for next 18 months, our goal is go behind Europe and South America. And of course,
Okay.
the first step, the tech companies which are very strong in this market, like Peakwork, like who is very popular in Germany, like Kangaroo, who is very popular in South America, and Juniper, which is very popular everywhere, but very, very strong in Europe. All these companies are part of Juniper Group. So we are now a part of same group. So we are going to collaborate with these tech companies to get our solution integrated so that it is easy for us to penetrate in that market. So we have already taken some steps, and I think there is a follow through in terms of getting this integration, reaching out to customers. But yes, for next 12 to 18 months, becoming very, very strong in South America and Europe, become a leader in that market is, I would say, our primary goal from the customer acquisition or business growth standpoint.
So, what is the biggest thing preventing you from getting to that goal from where you are now?
So yeah, that's a great question actually, Kasim, because and we when we tried different markets, like we are able to go very strongly in North America or India or Middle East, we were not able to do equally great in the past in these markets. Two reasons. One reason is if I compare this market with North America, a lot of companies in this market use the third party booking engine technologies. So we need those
Hmm.
partnerships, which we are achieving through this acquisition. And second is there is a language barrier. So for us, our product had been ready for years now for countries which are English speaking. And there has been
Hmm.
work we had been doing. We did acquired some great customers in these markets, and through them
Yeah.
and we had been tweaking and getting the product ready for this market, which is, which had been ready for the English speaking countries, but for Spanish or other languages, the product also needed some work, which we had been doing.
Yeah, for South America as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. How you are marketing your services? Because I believe in your business, marketing will be an essential part of the game. So how you're marketing it offline, online, social media, whatever
Yeah,
you use.
that's my favorite question, Kasim. Thank you for. So, in my opinion, first of all, it's not really about our business. I think marketing is the most important thing in any business.
Yeah,
And I'd like to highlight before getting into details of how we are doing. This is really an interesting topic. So I want to highlight some things. Okay. If you see 10 years back, the way companies were built is if you have a CEO in the company, next person who is very, very important and typically, then, if you go and look at the websites of companies and their leadership, after CEO, you will find probably CTO. This
yeah,
is how the business has been happening in the past. I don't believe there was a CMO or chief marketing officer which was ever coming in top three positions 10 years back. But if you look at today, if not CEO, the second person, if CEO is not from a marketing background, the second person in the company, which is typically most important in today's world, especially for SaaS, is a chief marketing officer.
yeah. You're
Because
right.
for you to grow globally, if you want to keep your operational costs less, your customer acquisition cost less, sales-driven customer acquisition is not really sustainable and not really economical. It has to be marketing driven. Okay. And we have been very clear about this. We have invested very heavily from day one in the marketing, Kasim. Okay. Coming to how do we really do market and how do we really, go in front of customers? There are two sides. Okay. The first side is know about branding. How do we really
Yeah,
build our brand? How do we go in front of customers and how do we, keep talking about our story to everyone? Because we all are human, right? We connect with stories. And
yeah,
first we have to connect, then understand the product. Okay.
yeah.
So we do all kind of marketing. We use all social media platforms. We all the media platforms. We use all the events to really go in front of customers wherever our target audience is and just keep talking about us so they know us. And then, targeting the events where we can get customers, doing the Google ads, organic and inorganic, the paid ads as well as the organic traffic. Try to get as many as inbound leads possible. Then we have inside sales who goes behind the outbound leads, and then a different kind of campaigns, different kind of tools which gives the data. So I would say if there is any marketing idea out there, we typically go and try to use it, and this has been our largest area. And it is not possible really because marketing doesn't work in silo. I cannot have just I started doing Google ads and my web, I'm getting impressions, I'm getting clicks. It doesn't help. It has to be
Yeah.
360, because when someone see Vervotech name somewhere and they might be looking for some relevant, let's say someone is looking for mapping services and they saw our ad, the chances of they click on it, submit the form, talk to us are very high when they heard about the company, when they had seen us in the multiple platforms. So retargeting with the right information, building the credibility, customer testimonials, every other angle, is very important. So I would say it's more and all of this in addition to branding and story, a product-led marketing where we keep talking about our products, new features, how we are differentiating, differentiating ourselves from rest. All those things needs to be constantly communicated through every channels to our potential customers.
Completely makes sense. Completely makes sense. So that was really nice. So what will be your biggest piece of advice for the ones who are going to follow your footprints? Because many entrepreneurs are coming into the market every day, and especially in the field of SaaS, people are warning a lot. So what will be your biggest piece of advice to
Yeah,
the
so I think what I think, Kasim, is more important is if anyone wants to get to the journey of building a business or brand, I think it's very important to get started.
yeah,
You will never don't really try to plan out everything how it's going to grow and how we'll grow. If you know you want to do it, I think you can do it. You can keep tweaking and keep changing your plans, keep changing your features, ideas, the strategy. But you can make it work if you're persistent. Okay. Second thing is, all you need is the right people. Okay. You
Makes sense.
cannot really build these brands in the today's fast-paced world by yourself. Even if you have money, and you cannot take money and just go and get people, and they're not going to build a company for you. You have to have people who become your co-founder, and they will build company together for all of them, right? So I think the most important thing is getting the right people who can work, who are smarter than yourself in certain areas. Because if I look at my CTO today, I'm not he I will not be able to probably compare myself in any way with him when it comes to technology. If I look at my CMO today, it is the same thing, and I keep learning from them. So I think getting the people who are smarter than you in different areas, bringing them together, aligning everyone with the vision will really kind of take you there. And last piece of advice, Kasim, is when you start, there would be, bumpy roads, and the initial time is really, very, I would say, you have to be a little patient with the business. I would say it takes some time. The result doesn't come really in 6 months or 1 year. It takes at times 2 years, 3 years. If you're able to pass that phase, and if you're able to be persistent, eventually you will get to a much brighter side of it. But you have to, wait and, be patient with it. You plan something and, okay, I'll build in 1 year and this will happen in 2 years. That it doesn't happen that way. So just be ready for it. And
Yeah.
if you're able to be, I think most of the businesses gets closed just because people are not able to hold on to it for enough time.
Yeah. Yeah. They just change their mind and start doing a job.
No,
Yeah.
I think so, Kasim, as you said very rightly. I think, when I became successful with Vervotech, because I never had an option of going back, because I really did it full time, leaving my job, and really put a lot of things on stake. Before this, I did tried actually startups in the past, right? In the early 2013 also. But every time I always had a backup option, and with the very very small problems, I always ended up in going back and doing my job again. But this time, I started a business, and within a year, COVID came, and it was all went down. Probably the problem in front of me was bigger than ever, but I don't had an option of giving back, and I just remained a little more patient this time, and I was able to go through. So that's the reason, I went through it. I think being
Yeah.
patient key here.
Yeah. Business needs patience. Business needs sacrifices. Business needs a lot of time. All these things are true. So, well, thank you, Sanjay. Thanks for joining us today. And would you like to share your contact with us, so like with the audience, so that if someone wants to reach you, they can reach you easily? Your website address, your social media handles, email, whatever you want to share.
Absolutely. I think, I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can look for Sanjay Ghare on LinkedIn, and, I'm very active there. You can follow Vervotech on, our LinkedIn handle Vervotech, or, you can just go to our website, which is vervotech.com, and reach out to us. I'm also very active on Instagram as well. My handle is Sanjay R. Ghare. So yeah, I'm happy to connect on any platform you guys are using.
Thanks. So we wish best of luck for Vervotech, and thanks for joining us today. It was very informative and a very joyful session. So thanks, Sanjay.
Thank you, Kasim. It was lovely
Stay
talking to you.
connected. Stay connected. Bye bye.